What's up, family? This is Herbalist Kareem, and we want to actually talk about. We really just gonna have some random talk. I'm just going off the top head, but also I'm literally gonna speak about the fear a lot of people have of starting a business, and I feel sometimes that I need to be talking to the young lions out there and the young ladies out there, lioness, kings and queens, because a lot of individuals just fully don't grasp. So those of you individuals that didn't go to church this Sunday, let's go to church. You know what I'm saying? He's like, Kareem, you in church? I mean, that's a different subject. All right. I mean, there's a lot of disrespectful stuff going on up in there. You know it. And if you already know what to do spiritually, you good. But a lot of individuals I get are broken. So that's a subject, and I'm not going to go into that right now because people get hurt when you don't speak on their side of the tracks on the subject of religion. So let's just, and I said this is random talk, so I could really veer off and just go there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to at least stick to the topic about the fact of the fear of starting a business and random talk, basically talking to the young females, young whippersnappers out there that's going to be getting out to this crazy matrix, this crazy world. See, they talk about so many things, but a lot of individuals literally just don't. To me, you know my channel, I kind of try to categorize it and put it here, put it there. But to me, a lot of individuals, they just pick a niche and they stay right there. You can't just talk about one subject when you're living in this crazy matrix right here. Y'all know that. Now, I know a lot of individuals and adults that listen to me right now are probably saying, okay, is Kareem going to give some nuggets about getting paid out here? I gave some. I will be giving some in the future because I'm going to start banging out some more videos. And also, it's a new year. Let me talk to the babies, okay? And when I talk about babies, I'm talking about the ones that's under, in the 20 zone. Them young 30s. I'm talking about 31, 32 and under. Those babies right there. Those individuals that are actually literally trying to do something better for themselves. But they don't understand where to go and actually how to just turn the machine on. You can't just sum all this up in 30 minutes. I wish I could have a channel just geared towards the youngs. Because it ain't easy out here, okay? Anybody told you that it is, they blowing smoke. You first gotta learn the get down. I talk about it a lot. So the algorithm, okay? You'll hear that word in this techno world. You young whippersnappers will hear it a lot. You know I'm always cool saying whippersnapper. You know what I'm saying? You hear this algorithm. All that means streetwise is, you gotta read. You gotta know what's going on this chessboard, this matrix. You gotta know, and every entity has an algorithm. So let me go down on your level. Facebook has its own mechanism, machine on how it's gonna keep people coming to use their platform. Facebook, YouTube, Instagrams, Snapchat, Twitter. You got a bunch of them out there. I'm out of the loop. Y'all youngsters know. But it's so many you can't keep up. But the opportunity's there. If you just decide to learn one, if you learn the basics of one of these algorithm youngsters, y'all can get paid. I wonder sometimes when I'm talking to my peoples, I'm not gonna name no names, but if I say something that they may be watching this, it'll resonate with them. I have family members that have just straight up solid gifts. And I know y'all got them. And family members that got gifts. That's just natural gifts. I mean, the gift of just like some people got gift of gab. Some people got the gift of just like math. Some individuals got gift of singing. Some people got gift of just playing a musical instrument or multiple musical instruments. Some people got the gift of just actually building, doing things with their hands. Somebody got gifts of just putting hands on people. People got gifts. So many gifts is out there. Services provided, products. You need to hone in on your gifts instead of letting others get paid off your gift that you have. That's what Kareem's trying to break down to you. You have natural born gifts. And there are individuals that I wouldn't say they don't have no gifts, but they don't really know what their gift is. So it don't really shine, and it's kind of buried up in there deep. You might be one of those individuals that people don't never speak on, like, oh man, that's a gift that you got right there. They don't ever say it, and you don't even know it yourself. So, but you got that grind, that consistent, that hustle that a lot of individuals don't have. So, I mean, I have a gift of writing poetry and poems. And if I wanted to write songs, it'd be a rap. I could write all day. I could bang out a song in less than probably 2 weeks. Some people can do it in right there in about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And poetry, getting it to myself, I can knock that out in about 30 minutes or less. But did I ever take the time to manifest that gift or do something with that gift to the world? Like Maya Angelou. You young lions don't know what that means, and lioness, y'all don't know what that means. So I'm gonna just say young kings and queens, y'all don't know who she is. You know what I'm saying? But if you lived at least a little bit in the mid-20s, you probably know who she is. But your natural born gift that you have, every city, state, and county knows about it, that you got gifts. You're being born left and right, and you don't realize the importances of, what is it called, how to make money until you maybe 25, 28, 29. The queens, y'all a little sooner, no doubt. When you out there, youngsters, and you old heads like myself and older understand what I'm talking about. We weren't caught up in thinking, and I don't like the fact that my actual family members didn't go into details about this. I mean, I come from both parents in the home. Been married over 50 years. So I'm trying to tell you, no slight and dig on my pops, but he was on his grind. He had over 5 kids to take care of, 5 of us. Queen, he was out getting it as a welder. So it wasn't on his mind to be, teaching his boys how to just make paper, loan paper. He was trying to teach us a trade, which is welding trade. Usually people are going to teach you what they already know. Okay? So you got too many things bombarding you, you young queens and kings, especially when you are in school or you're about ready to go to school. You're already conditioned to be going to pretty much an education 9 to 5. Early in the morning, you going to school and you walking back from school, or you being picked up from school, or you riding a bus. Okay? So you already conditioned to go in the morning and get out in the morning. You even have your lunch. You have some breaks. So newsflash, that's just what 9 to 5 is like. It's the same concept. Except the difference is you're trying to earn money instead of earning an education. Now with your education in school, from that kind of like that first, second grade, we'll just really talk about second and third grade on up. They have all the way to 12th grade. They're not really trying to give you no tools that you're going to use in real life. That's amazing. You're going to need to read, so they'll give you that. And you're going to need to do some math, so they give you the basics of math. But that science that they teach, you're not going to use it. You're not going to dissect no frog. You're not going to actually be looking at no skeleton and just punch in what his parts is at, and that be it. When they don't tell you nothing about the body. So science, okay, you're not gonna the true science of the actual Mother Nature. They ain't gonna teach you none of that. You're not gonna learn about copper. The different helium. They ain't gonna go in details with you on that. Okay, I'm talking about from 3rd to 12th grade. They're going to go heavy with you on some math, with like algebra, pre-algebra, calculus. They want to give you all of that when you most likely is never going to be learning or get into one of those fields. Most likely it's rare. And if you do find a job, big up to you, because you're going to be making a lot of money when you understand calculus and understand math like that. Okay? You might be working for somewhere like the space or doing some type of shuttles or whatever, in the military. But I'm trying to keep it real with you. History It's a waste of time because they teach you history that don't have nothing to do with people that look like you. You know what I mean? And the history that even is about people that don't look like you. The Europeans, they teach in history that don't even help them at all in the world. So history is a waste of time. For what? For what? So a lot of the schools that they bring you up from 2nd to 12th grade is a dumbed down education. I mean, literally, that's why people over from other countries like Asia, China, they outdo us in technology and everything else. So I want you youngsters and kings and queens to understand, don't play yourself and thinking you getting something fire between 2nd and 12th grade. Now, don't knock it. It don't mean you don't supposed to go. Because it's something that they got us in this system, this matrix, that it's a requirement to have a diploma or a GED, to have your foot in the door if you are trying to have like a prerequisites or an introduction to a job, a job. Okay? Since 90% plus people are doing jobs, or 95 plus people are doing jobs, you need to keep your record clean. And not only do you need to just make sure you get the requirements of a GED or a diploma out the gate, because they look at that. Did you graduate? Do you have a GED? Since you didn't, you can't even do the little small steps that are required to get out the door. Now, this is not no slight to you young men that might be in areas that you can't even get the GED or diploma. And the schools are just straight up trash. You know, everybody think because school is clean and they can go without getting shot up and, hurt and harmed, and people are not doing crazy stuff while they get going to and fro. They getting a great education. Yours is just it ain't no different a nice school, a clean school. It ain't no different, but you got the same material. Oh, my bad. Let me take it back. You got a little bit better, more material. It's a little bit more better environment so you can relax and learn. But listen, don't think you youngsters that ain't made it and didn't get your GED and diploma, you ain't gonna make it now. Don't think that jail or prison is your route you're supposed to go, or the streets and hustling is your route only. Please don't think that. Please don't think that, because it's so much information concerning education and traps, jobs and traps, debt and traps, credit and traps, taxes and traps, homeland protection and traps. I was about to say homeland security. What is it called? Family and traps. You know what I'm saying? I mean, relationships and traps. I mean, there's always a yin and yang with every subject matter, a positive and a negative. Okay? But it's a lot more negative out there than positive. But if no one's telling you that this dual setup is going on, how you going to know when to know that there's a positive over here or there's a negative over here? And while you're doing a positive, watch out for the negative. That's important. Okay? So a lot of individuals just send you to school. I remember my folks making sure I go to school. My real teacher was my mom. She broke it down. She taught me math, reading. And but she was at home. Okay? She taught me how to, different language. She taught me, I didn't remember it later when I grew up. She taught me my history. She taught me portions of science. They got me encyclopedias to read more, even though we didn't take advantage of it. But that's my real teacher. And most of y'all real teachers is your mom. Okay? Know that. Your pops is going to be out there getting that grinding. But that was them days. Way different. Okay? Back in the 70s and 80s, the grind right there was totally different. So the queen would stay home while the king would go out there and get it. Go look up your history. The queen was at home and the king was out there getting it. And if he wasn't out there getting it, he wasn't looked at as a man with other lions out there and whatnot and kings out there. So the queen was out there taking care of home base. And talk about stay-at-home teacher and mother and whatever. Everything you could think of, they had the whole package. Okay? It was more of a stick together than a split and whatnot. So your time's different, okay? It's like a rare breed finding a king out there getting it and a queen at home. It's almost like you see celebrities or people that got money. Their queen is doing it and the king out there getting it. Yeah, yeah, because the times have made it that way. So since your time is different, somebody should be teaching you. I'm trying to drop some nuggets on what you should be doing right now. And you kings and queens that are the parents, you should share this video with them. You got to know. You truly got to know the steps in society / matrix. A lot of people call it different names, but you have to know the steps. Okay? This ain't light work when they playing with your mind. You might be able to go get over some female or get over some dude because you got the good between your legs, or you got, I got that good stuff, man. I know how to lay it down with her. That ain't going to line your pocket. That ain't going to have you make it in this matrix. And it ain't going to safeguard you from the traps. There's several traps that's out there waiting on you. Let me help you understand. You got over a million. I'm pretty sure most of y'all know how to count. You got over 1 million statues. You don't know what a statue is. It's a subsidiary, this is Kareem's opinion, to the Constitution. So let's do it a different way. Every state has their own laws, codes, and penal codes and stuff like that, and regulations that you got to abide by. They call them statutes. Some people call them rights, civil rights, constitutional rights. They only apply to certain people, okay? But I know one thing about it. Statutes is what that courts deal with when you go up in the criminal court and civil court. They deal with statutes. They deal with Constitution too. But you got to know what you're talking about to actually get them to abide by that Constitution. You got to know how to use case law. They got to get them to abide by Constitution. But statutes, that's totally different right there. They lock you up on a statute all day long, cases that with this statute. But, jaywalking and doing something, stealing a steak. Stealing a lawnmower. There's people locked up from stealing food on a 3 strikes and ain't getting out. It ain't no time to be playing out here and always got your head in the clouds and always thinking about you young lions and kings out here thinking that you can always just stick and move. Poke whoever you can, holler at and keep it pushing. Okay? It's more than just that. And you some young females and queens out here, you can't be just spreading your legs for anybody. You can't. Because the minute you get yourself pregnant, need I say more? I'm pretty sure your parent could break that down. Those of you already pregnant, you already know. Them bad boys cost money. And the young female, king, you lions out here, y'all don't even know how much it's going to cost you. You know how much it costs to take care of a baby? An infant? Do you know how much it costs to just have a baby? They just got you so far away from midwives and someone having a baby in their home and having someone that knows what to do, a mother to help bring that baby into that might live down the street or next door. They didn't got rid of them. Or they around, but they trying to phase them out, but they trying to come back or whatever strong. But it's a solid strong of 90% of just hospital and clinics around that cost you paper to have a child. And if you don't have no insurance, they will send you a bill. So you have to fully understand that bringing a baby in the world costs money and keeping that baby fed costs money. They going around putting stuff in the food to make sure they dry up the mother's, breast milk. So if she can't feed the baby, guess where you're going to run to? The stores to get Similac. They're going to give you the Similac and give you some type of can or liquid food for the baby in the hospital. Believe that. And the baby don't like it because it projects it. They don't even want it. Start throwing it up, coming out the nose, the mouth, everything. But you got to give it to them because you tried up and it don't work. You're using a pump and it don't work. And you don't know that you already been under attack by your body because how you treat your body, because you're addicted to certain foods, you can't feed your baby. But you spending money. That's what my point I'm trying to make. You spending money just for that baby to live and exist. Okay? And then you stressed out because now you trapped with a baby on your hand. And if you under 18 or under 19 or under 20 or under 25, you trapped. You feel like, oh wow, I'm still going to school. I'm going to college. And I got a baby to take care of. I got loans. I got student loans. I got credit cards, student credit cards. And I got a baby. I haven't even got my diploma and I got a baby. I'm living at my mom's and she tripping and my pop's tripping and I got a baby. My auntie, my uncle, my sister, my cousin, they tripping because I got a baby. It gets real bad when you decide to only think about that between your legs before you think about this society. And actually, it's important to make these steps very strategically. I'm not talking outside of my neck or talking from a place I don't know what I'm talking about. Believe me, I had my first child, my beautiful daughter, when I was 18? So I know it was a struggle. I'm talking about major struggle. So it got dark for me then, especially when you're out on your own and you are not having your ideas correct. Oh, I had my diploma. I graduated. But where am I going now? And I got a baby on the way. It's kind of difficult to go to college and you got a baby. Or get your trade school and you got a baby. Especially when your partner trying to get it too. If the partner's still around. You youngsters out here, business is the order of the day. Why? Because a lot of individuals don't fully understand, and we got it too late, especially myself, how to grind out here. My natural talents and gifts got kind of pushed to the side because I'm out here trying to survive. You out here trying to survive. So don't do stupid things and dumb things to slow yourself down. But I just wanted to help you guys understand, just give you a snippet. Don't make a mistake with that. Okay? Stay guard yourself. Strap up if you have to. Now, I don't even advocate you getting down if you you know what I'm saying? But how am I gonna tell you not to get down when I did it? Nobody educating nobody. At least the real way. A lot of people get depressed when they have a child and they can't move. So they ain't got that. You already don't have that fire in you because you're just trying to survive to just get get money and hustle and stay consistent and stay on your grind and whatever. We're about to head to a new year. A new year. And a lot of individuals that are 9 to 5 and that already did the journey that Kareem did. Cool school, diploma, college or a lot of college, loans, debt. And now at 95s, most queens stay at long-term 95s. Long-term and did 15, 20, 30, 40 years. They retired, but those people that have been doing it 10, 15, 20 years in 1 or 2 jobs, they tired. They tired, little young whippersnappers. They tired, man. They can tell you. They can tell you how it is a repetitiously ripping and breaking them down. Breaking them down daily. You got to get out. You got to change your algorithm. You got to change your thinking process. Let me say it another way. You got to change how you moving out here. Everything has to be somewhat calculated, okay? But when you fall in love, or you thinking you falling in love, that's another trap. Love and then trap. Because if you ain't grounded, if you ain't spiritually grounded, and when I mean spiritually grounded, you know yourself. You know thyself. Inside and out, you know who you are. You know the God in you. And you know the actual laws that govern over you. That's not stricken by a religion. There's a difference between a religion and a way of life. And actually knowing about love, okay? And how to treat people on all aspects in every plane. You understand totally your actual, your inner self, all the way to every gland and even your master gland, your pineal gland, your third eye. When you actually literally know that everybody's connected and you have to move in a way, in a loving, caring kind of way, and you know the enemy, or some people say the devil, when it's coming, when it might be a friend or foe, a loved one, you grounded. You spiritually grounded. And you don't need no script or no book to tell you how to treat people or how to actually navigate out here. You don't need that guidance like that. Ain't nothing wrong with using that guidance, but you can't just go out half cocked out here in this matrix when you ain't got nothing but a bunch of statutes, millions of raw laws and regulations and penal codes pointing directly at you. Everybody want to extract from you taxes. Huh? They want to put you in some type of debt and service and goods and products. That's how it's set up, okay? It's set up like that. So you can't be clueless thinking that, okay, I'm going to just be me and get in until I'm about 24, 25. No. I did that too. And guess where it got me? Waiting till in my late, what is it called, my late 30s to start getting paid out here, living comfortable out here. You can't have baggage because you decided to make mistakes or decided to not listen to nobody, decided to just like, it ain't no big deal, I'm going to do what I do. Okay, keep smoking a lot, just blunts, Black and Miles. Keep on drinking all day. You know what I'm saying? Me doing your other little things that you're doing. You know what you're doing on a regular basis because you ain't got time for this. Trying to just get your mind off of the drama that you're going through. Or not even drama. Trying to get your mind off of what you have to do today, which is go to work. That's stressful, man. People drink. People smoke because they don't even want to go to work. Then when they get out of work, they got to go get their drink on and smoke some more or hang out just to relax. People got their own vices that they do to debrief or even prepare to get into this 9 to 5. Let me tell you, a 9 to 5, most of them, not all of them, most 9 to 5s are horrible or straight up foul, depressing, stressful, disrespectful on a lot of levels. Not everyone, but I mean damn near 80 plus 90% of them are straight garbage. And it stresses you out daily. Got people with master's degrees, bachelor's degrees, PhD, pissed off going to their 9 to 5. I'm not talking to the individuals that got their master's and PhD and then they started their own practice or clinic or their own business. I'm talking about them individuals that literally got it and they working for somebody else and they still getting paid under $100,000. Or they got a master's or PhD still getting paid under $50,000. That's disrespectful, man. That's foul. I got a debt over 100 grand or over 50 or 60 grand that won't never leave me alone with student loans. And here I am in my 30s and 40s and 50s and I still paying this debt. And I'm still getting paid less than 50, 60 grand a year. And I done gave everything to this society, to education, and did everything right. A good taxpayer, took care of my kids, went to church every Sunday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, Bible study, choir rehearsal, prayer night, and I still, Sunday service, and I'm still broke like this, struggling. Where they do that at? That's what I want to know. Where the heck do they do that at? So you can't sit up here and be lost thinking that this is what I want. I want to make sure I get my diploma and I get into the right field and I make sure I become a better worker. Okay? That's what you're doing. They're teaching you and training you to become a better worker. Okay? They're breaking your spirit. Okay? All your gifts that you got, all your intelligent and intellectual property you got, you ain't even putting them in the right places. What happened to you invention people? Us. That they talked about so much heavily that I even purchased a book and they selling the cars and I even got those. A brother was selling those. Big up to him. We invented this, we invented that, we invented this, kings and queens and all that. Where you at? Where is your power today? At least within you within yourself. Within yourself. Where is that at? So while you focus on being woke and being totally conscious, get that fire within you from your ancestors, okay? Get that fire within you as being just knowing how to be a master of self. I like how Elijah Muhammad would teach, do for yourself. Do for yourself. And a lot of individuals just don't want to break down and just do for themselves because they're afraid that they're going to fail. So you're afraid. You have a lot of fear of starting a business. I teach all the time. I mean, you can start a business like that. I talked about the farmer's market. You don't need thousands of dollars. I told you one time when I was talking about business, you youngsters, I thought I needed $25K. I did reach my goal of getting $25,000 off of a credit card, American Express credit card, getting approved for it, but I didn't even use that much. That's why I used 5 G's to set everything up that I needed. Technically didn't need all that. But when I was already, I'm talking about when I went full-fledged, it started from 5 G's. A little bit of 5,000 for everything. But before I went full-fledged out there to the public and trying to be known outside of the state of Arizona, I was already doing it within my community. And that didn't cost me much, but a little bit of change here, a couple $100 here from my paycheck. I'm not telling you not to work no 9 to 5. I'm telling you not to stay at no 9 to 5. Somebody else's dream. You boosting them up, giving them 30, 40 years. That's old school. You don't need to do that no more. Back then when them people were doing 20 and 30 years, my pops was doing that. He had a house and 2 cars. Okay, and my mama was at home with 5 kids. Where they do that at now? Where you going to have 5 kids, a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, and she at home, and the kids is going to work, going to school, and he just working, making $15 an hour, and he got 2 cars, 1 payment, car payment, and actually a house and a house note, and he's sustaining it all. Where you gonna do that? Where you gonna find that at right now? And a house costs less than $60,000, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, in a nice area in California. So you got to know what time you living in right now. You in the social media area, so you should be afraid to do business right now, youngsters, or even older people like myself, old heads. Okay, you shouldn't be afraid. You shouldn't have that fear on your jacket right now, because I'm talking about this social media is so fast right now. A person, you ain't gotta go viral. You just gotta be consistent. You just gotta be consistent. Consistent is the key. You gotta put your actual dream or goals together on paper, and you gotta work at it daily. Even though you're working or going to school, you gotta work at it daily. And working at it daily and continuously keeping it on your mind or your vision board, you're manifesting it. You're manifesting it by your works. I mean, the Bible got a lot of information in there that a lot of people hate and a lot of people love. Some people just 100% love it and nothing else. But they ain't getting ahead. So something about it, they ain't really understanding totally. Okay? I like the fact that it speaks heavily of the spirit. And it talks heavily about the flesh. But it tells you where you're supposed to be. Spiritual side. But most people are moving, I would say a lot, 90+% of the people, even in church, are moving on the flesh side. That's why they need them pastors, okay? And them bishops, and them evangelists, prophets, and whatnot, okay? Ministers. They need them. Because they messed up, man. They tripping. They move it in the flesh all the time. And so will you. When you're dealing with that lower self, talking about you, everything between your legs is always just moving you in focus. I don't really blame you for that because that's your nature. You know, but society is set up for you to survive. So if it's a good solid 99% of the time, it's survival mode. Where you're going to get your next bologna sandwich, cheese sandwich, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, your next beans to eat, you know, or even vegetarian food or whatever. If 99% of the time it's about keeping lights on and water and being able to have gas to go here and there and being, I mean, you got to just pay to exist, to survive out here. Survival and using your intellectual property or your services, the products or inventions that you come up with too. I'm trying to actually promote you to believing in yourself. That you can invent something. I mean, what is this? This is one of my watches. Somebody invented this. Okay? You think this is the first person that created this watch? What is this? What queen got this for me? This is a quartz watch. This ain't no fancy, really expensive watch or whatever. I'm not. It don't take much to make me happy though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she got me this for my birthday this year. You think this person was the first one that created a watch? You got so many watches out there. It's ridiculous in companies. It's ridiculous. So stop trying to reinvent. Stop trying to, what is it called? Be the first inventor or something. I mean, it's so many things that somebody already created. All you have to do is attach yours to it, slap your name on it, or you actually make it better. Why do you think Amazon? Why do you think Amazon ain't nothing but a big old place where a person? It's like a high price ticket or a powerful Craigslist. That's all it is. A lot of people think that you got to look at eBay. It's more powerful than eBay. So that's all it is. So it allows the little people to get it like regular stores. Okay? So, and you can use third parties like Alibaba, AliExpress to be your layouts in between to get your stuff and then boom, slap your information on it or just sell the same thing with somebody else's name. They'll let you sell their product for a percentage. Affiliate marketing. That's what it's called. Okay, so you sitting up here giving all of your 90% of your energy every day, 8, 10, 12 hours a day to a 9 to 5. You see your mom and dad, your uncles and aunties, your cousins, even your grandma and grandma that's still working, grandma and grandpa still working. You see them, church members, family members, you see them going there every day. And they'll tell you they on a fixed income or they ain't got no money to help you or they barely just, they look, I'm cool. But they loving people, ain't they? You love being around them, but they just getting through. They just barely making it. Some of them are not even just barely making it. They making it a lot more than just barely. They good. They got a couple $100 in their pocket. They got a couple $1,000 in their savings account. But you ask anybody that's close to you, do you got 25 stacks? Hell, do you got 50 stacks? You got $100,000 in your bank account? Do you got silver and gold somewhere in the house or in a safe deposit box? Most of them don't have it. People that look like me have the most spending power in this country than any other race. Yet are the lowest to hold most of the wealth and have money in their bank account. Of course, there's people with their foot on your neck, slowing you down. But right now, social media is allowing you youngsters and old heads like myself to get it within less than 6 months, a year. Coupled with your actual service that you could provide or intellectual property that you could provide. I can pretty much almost promise you that you won't fail. So stop being afraid and being fearful and get out there and get it. This ain't the last random talk. You know why? Because I'm going to keep giving you this chess, not chess. Keeping it real, give something they feel like.